Welcome to this reading of SCP-723. At the end of this video is a couple of things I want to talk about, but for right now, let's talk about SCP-723. In the description is a link to the official SCP Wiki where you can read this SCP or others on the site. Item number, SCP-723. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. Due to the immovable nature of SCP-723, a containment area designated Site-288 is to be constructed surrounding the immediate area to prevent potential civilian casualties or exposing the site's properties. Containment consists of a standard 3-meter, 10-foot approximate, chain-link fence with access-restricted signage surrounding the site's exterior. A further restricted zone of 2 meters is to be constructed around the entrance to SCP-723, secured with magnetic lock. The site is to be secured by 3 guards in standard redacted security company cover uniforms with visible armament to avoid suspicion. Access restrictions are to be made based on the claim of site frugal and historical importance. Access to D-class subjects for further experiments is to be approved by level 4 staff or higher. Under no circumstances is SCP-723 to be ascended by SCP Foundation staff, and personnel are requested to stay clear of the interior restricted zone to avoid becoming subject to SCP-723's effect. Description: SCP-723 is a spiral stone staircase hewn from ordinary limestone, constructed within a ruined church located in sparsely populated Redacted, England. The staircase scales the interior of a ruined tower on the structure's eastern side. Each stair is approximately 0.75 meters, 2.5 feet wide, ascending in a clockwise direction at a 42-degree incline. From the exterior of the site appears to be in a state of disrepair, including the tower which SCP-723 ascends. However, the damage is not visible from the interior of the tower, though the staircase is still visibly worn. SCP-723 also appears to extend further upward than the exterior architecture suggests. The site was brought to the Foundation's attention in 2000 redacted, after the unexplained disappearance of several local youths. When ascended, SCP-723 inducts rapid aging in the case of living subjects and decay in the case of non-living materials. This effect seems to be indicated after the 4th or 5th step has been climbed, each substantial step indicating further aging and decay respectively. Subjects ascending the stairwell have not indicated any feeling of pain or discomfort and seem to be untroubled by their rapid transformation. Within the exclusion of Experiment 723A-9, once an ascendance has begun, subjects have no inclination of returning to the base of SCP-723, although it has yet to be determined conclusively whether this is a compulsion caused by SCP-723's effect or the result of physical change in the brain. The former is a conclusion more probable. Stairs and the church are characteristic of pre-Romanesque architectural style. Historical research indicates that the building containing SCP-723 was indeed a functioning church dating back from at least the 9th century, if not earlier. However, recent archaeological investigation suggests that Roman architecture existed on the site predating the construction of the church. The site has gone under several major repairs since its construction, but is believed to have fallen in disuse sometime during the 11th century, although no specific records exist. Local folklore suggests that the building was abandoned during this time, concluding with a series of suspicious deaths and disappearance of the church remains within local population. This same folklore references a sacred stair, which is believed to be a reference to SCP-723. It is not known whether SCP-723 gained its properties at this time or whether they existed prior to this event. Due to the spiral structure of SCP-723, direct observation of anything past a single story is impossible. Electronic equipment such as video and sound recorders or GPS locators have been shown to go under a similar aging process to the subject, and transmitted signals typically fail after a single story has been scaled, making further observation problematic. This has been somewhat circumvented by the use of cables directly linking observers to the subject, allowing video contact to remain until the second story and audio until the fourth. A series of experiments were conducted in the 2000s to determine the nature and extent of SCP-723. There are 3 experiments attached to this document: Experiment 723-A-1, Experiment 723-A-4, and Experiment 723-A-7. Experiment 723-A-1. Date redacted. Subject D723-1. Equipment: handheld camcorder with an 8-hour battery life and audio transceiver. Result: subject was instructed to remain in verbal contact with the observers throughout the test via the transceiver and ascended the stairs as normal. The subject expression underwent a visible change as they crossed the 4th step, paused, and then continued climbing after prompting from the test overseer. Signal from the audio transceiver casted approximately 24 seconds after visual contact was lost. Subject did not respond to further prompts, both via transceiver and vocally. Video recordings were unable to be recovered. Note: standard recording methods are insufficient. Recommended that alternatives be explored in future experiments. Experiment 723-A-4. Date redacted. Subject D723-4. Equipment: handheld camcorder and audio transceiver, both connected to monitor at the base of the staircase via standard plastic-coated copper cable. Result: subject agreed to ascend the stair after being forcefully restrained by security. Subject was then instructed similarly to previous experiments, with the addition of trailing the cable behind them as they climbed. After crossing the 5th step, subject sharply inhaled but continued forward. Video and audio signals were maintained once visual contact had been lost, but began to deteriorate rapidly. Subject was asked to report any visual or audible anomalies, which they responded that they were feeling fine. When asked to elaborate, the subject mumbled incomprehensibly. At this point, the subject raised their hand to examine in front of the video feed, which now appeared to be heavily calloused. Video feed was lost soon after, but audio feed remained for another 8 minutes. Subject began to breathe heavily into the microphone as audio signal gradually degraded. Subject is directed to stop climbing but doesn't respond. Shortly before audio signal is lost, subject again mumbled something incomprehensibly, but it is believed that they had said daughter or slaughter. Reeling in the copper cable revealed significant degradation to the metal and plastic, progressively more advanced towards the subject's end. The cable was no longer attached to the recording devices. Note: SCP-723 appears to degrade both biological and non-living matter. Subject also appeared to be unwilling or unable to respond to overseer's request. Recommended that methods to recover subject and equipment be extended in future experiments. It is also notable that the remains of previous subjects were not observed or discovered at any point during the ascent. Alright, thank you for listening to this reading of SCP-723. I know I said there was 3 experiments, I only read 2. That's because I want you guys to go into the description and check out the official link. I want you guys to show some love for the SCP community. It's a pretty long experiment, and it's really good.